Welcome back to Derek's Reptiles. Thank you guys for tuning in. This show is what are the top three snakes for beginners? That is important to know. In the snake, really with any animal, you're going to have beginners, intermediate, and professional handlers. Being a beginner, you're not going to go out and purchase a Cobra. You're not going to do it. You're a beginner. You have to start small. You know, when you go play basketball, you're not instantly LeBron James. You're a beginner. You know, you learn as much as you can, you soak up as much knowledge as you can, and you move on to the next category, the intermediate, where you know a little more. Then you move on to the professional, where you know a little more, but you still can keep learning. Shout out to Tyler Nolan. He's professional. Me, I'm a beginner. I've been in the snake hobby for a year, so I'm still learning as I go, and I love this hobby. So again, today we're going to talk about the top three snakes for beginners. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on? Brian here. Thank you so much for your support, Derek. It means the world to me, and I think it's amazing that you are doing YouTube videos as well. Keep it going. Make sure to subscribe to Derek Reptile channel. Go show that some love and all that type of stuff because we need good content out there. Anyways.
Number three, ball pythons. They're just a joy to care for. They're slow moving, they're quiet, they're docile, and easy to handle. They grow typically about 3 to 5 feet, with females being on the longer side and males being on the shorter side. The ball python is an excellent snake. It's not a small one. It's gonna grow and it's gonna get girthy. If you want a good sized snake that's thick, great because it's not a colubrid. It's gonna get look pretty long and it's gonna get girthy. So it's an excellent snake. A lot of you ball python handlers out there are gonna tear me up for this, but I did kind of teeter with it. What do I mean by that? The ball python is a great snake, but it's not really a beginner snake. How do I explain this? It is a beginner snake, but it's kind of on that line of intermediate. And I'll explain to you why. If you do decide to purchase a ball python, you need to be aware that at any time it can go on a hunger strike. They're picky, just like my fiance. They are picky. Anything can set them off. If you don't have the right temperature, if you don't have the right humidity, if they want frozen and you're giving them live, if they want live and you're giving them frozen, anything could tick them off and they could stop eating for 6 or more months. I've heard horror stories of ball pythons going a whole year and not eating. You don't really have a lot to worry about if they do have a hunger strike. And I know that now because I've done some research. What you do need to worry about is if you get one and it goes on a hunger strike, but and you notice it's losing weight. If it's on a hunger strike and it's losing weight, then you need to go to a vet. Again, I'm sharing this with you. This is my experience. If you're out there and you're breeding ball pythons, I wish you the best. If that's your favorite snake, great. It's a great beginner snake. But like I said, it is also kind of getting into that intermediate category because it'll stress you out. If you're a new snake owner, part of the joys of handling a snake is watching it eat. I want to watch it eat. That's it's amazing to watch nature happen in your house. And then if it's not eating for 6 months, it'll stress any new snake owner out. And I get it. I had a ball python. I ended up giving it away to so it can have a better life because it stressed me out so bad. It never ate. I tried everything. I checked everything, the humidity, everything, and it never ate. Now I get it. I may have stressed it out, and I get that. Like you can ask my fiance. When I first got into snakes, I scooped a ball python up quick. Come on. I said, baby, I'm getting the biggest tank it could have. I wanted to have the best life. I wanted to live in a mansion. I bought a 50-gallon tank for a juvenile ball python. Yeah, I know, right? That's something that can stress it out. You don't want to give it too big of a tank because you're instantly going to stress it out. And I didn't know that. So that's another key too. Do your research. Do your research. So like I said, number 3 is the ball python. It's an excellent snake. Very reluctant to bite. It's quiet. It's docile. Slow moving. A toddler can handle it. It's just that hunger strike makes it last on my list. Okay, you guys. Number 2, the king snake. Very easy snake to care for. The humidity is easy to control. They're typically at 50 to 60 for their humidity. And of course, it's going to be higher when they're in shed. They have gorgeous color patterns. And they're generally curious. She's pretty easy to handle, but she's not like a ball python. She's going to be continuously moving around and searching, trying to get away from you, or just kind of seeing what's going on in her environment. She is just a naturally curious snake. I'll kind of show her to you guys. King snakes are great escape artists, so you want to make sure you have a lock on that lid. They're semi-arboreal, so you want to provide tree branches or something that they can climb on because they do enjoy climbing. A juvenile king snake is fine in a 10-gallon tank or tub. An adult is going to need about a 20 to 30 gallon. You don't want to go too big because you can't stress them out. And like I said, they made number 2 on the list because they're just so gorgeous. They're easy to handle, and one thing that I like about them is they hardly refuse meals. They're hardy snakes. Now, I'm not saying that they'll never refuse a meal. Yeah, your snake can get sick, it can get a respiratory infection, and just not want to eat. But 99% of the time, if you offer a king snake a meal, it's going to eat it. Now, if you do get the king snake for one of your beginner snakes, one thing you want to watch out for is you do not want to house a king snake with another king snake because they are carnivorous. What does that mean? That means if you have 2 king snakes in a tank, chances are you're going to wake up to one. King snakes eat other snakes. They're known for it in the wild. Kind of why they're called king snakes. But like I said, excellent snake to have. They're not very nippy. I mean, any snake is nippy when it's a baby, but as far as like when you get it handled and you get it tamed down, it's not going to nip at you. Now they do have one habit that is kind of you're just like ugh, and what that is they do musk. Okay, now musk is not pee. It's a chemical that the king snake and other snakes build up in their body, and they actually whip their tail and throw it at you. So you would kind of think it was some kind of urine or bowel movement, and it does have it in there. It's a mixture, but it's just a way of them defending themselves. Because what predator wants to eat something that's throwing something at you that smells like crap? Musk. It smells horrible, and she musk on me all the time. I don't mind it. It's not all the time. Maybe once when I pick her up, and after she kind of knows that I'm not a predator, she kind of calms down. But like I said, great snake. The handability is excellent. And like I said, just a great beginner snake, which is why I have it, because I am a beginner. I am not ready to handle a cobra. She's excellent to handle. Not nipping at me, just very curious. A lot different than a ball python. And when you're handling your snakes, you want to use 2 hands. Support their whole body, and it'll keep them calm. She's calm now. But when I first got her out, y'all should have seen it. All right. I'm getting ready to put her back. Say goodbye, Medusa. And you guys waited. Here it is, number 1 on the list. The top snake for beginners is the corn snake. Excellent snake, easy to maintain their humidity. Here, I'll show them to you. That's Brownie. Typically, their humidity is between 40 to 50%. A normal person's house has about 30% humidity. So, if you miss their tank at least once a day, they'll be fine. They're great eaters. Rarely refuse a meal. Not like a ball python. A corn snake is not going to go 6 months without eating. It's very inquisitive. They like to explore. Typically, a corn snake will get between 2 to 6 feet, with females being on the longer side and males being on the shorter side. And they're just gorgeous animals. Very reluctant to bite. Just easy all around to care for. And the reason I rank this snake number 1 is because they can thrive in a bad environment. What does that mean, Derek? That means is this is your first snake and you're still learning and you don't get something right, it's going to survive. It's not going to go on a hunger strike if you get its temperatures wrong. It's still going to eat. It's not going to go on a hunger strike if you get its humidity wrong. It's still going to eat. Now, I'm not saying get a corn snake, keep it in a bad environment and don't worry. What I mean is a corn snake will be okay with you learning as you go. It's one snake that is just like, oh, okay, whatever. Learning as you go, they do not mind. They thrive in just about any environment. Now, a corn snake, a juvenile is good in a 10-gallon. Ultimately, an adult, you're going to want to have them in about a 30 or 40-gallon. I'm getting ready to upgrade mine to a 20-gallon, probably in the next couple weeks, because she's getting long. But I love her to death. Like I said, this is my top beginner snake. So I'm going to put her down, back in her cage. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This video is, again, the top 3 snakes for beginners. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for tuning in to Derek's Reptiles. Before you go, if you're still here, comment below. Tell me what your first snake was. Tell me, was it your favorite snake? Do you still have that snake? Kind of conversate with me. I'm interested to know about other reptile handlers and what your experiences were. Again, I'm not a vet. Do your own research. This is my opinion. These are not facts. If you have ball pythons and you're mad at having at number 3, I still love you. So, again, thank you for tuning in to Derek's Reptiles. It's been real.
What's up, animal lovers? It's Cedric the Entertainer here. And especially those who love reptiles and snakes. Y'all gotta go check out my man, Derek's Reptiles Snake Feedings. That's right, Derek's Reptiles and Snake Feedings. He is the man to help you out with your anything that you want to know in the reptile world. I mean, he's like a young Steve Irwin, but but us though. You know what I'm saying? Y'all help this young man. He loves the reptiles. He knows all about them. If you like that, you want those kind of pets, call Derek McMurray, all right? Check him out, all right? That's my man. I'll holler.